A blizzard dropped more than a foot, 30 centimeters, of snow across the northeastern United States on Tuesday, falling short of the massive predicted snowfall that prompted officials across the region to close schools and order travel bans. High winds and heavy snow were set to persist throughout the day, with another foot forecast to fall in parts of Boston. Wind-driven seas caused flooding along some low-lying roadways in coastal Massachusetts, state police said. The heaviest snowfall was recorded in parts of Connecticut and Massachusetts, while New York City's Central Park saw just 6 inches, 15 centimeters, less than a quarter of the historic snowfall that some meteorologists had predicted. When you hear the word crippling and you look out your window this morning, it is not there, said John Davitt, a meteorologist, on New York's NY1 News Channel. Travel was still snarled, with more than 4,500 flights canceled at U.S. airports, according to FlightAware.com, and no trains or buses in New York, Boston, or New Jersey. Forecasts for as much as 3 feet, 90 centimeters, of snow had prompted governors in 8 East Coast states to declare states of emergency, and the storm affected up to 60 million people in nearly a dozen states. Residents largely obeyed orders to stay off roadways, and broadcasters in New York and Boston showed roads largely free of cars early on Tuesday. Sustained winds in the area might hit 40 miles per hour, 64 kph, though gusts as high as 78 miles per hour, 126 kph, were recorded on the island of Nantucket, off Massachusetts. Travel bans remained in place on roads in southern New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. It could be a matter of life and death, so caution is required, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo told reporters. In New York's Long Island, Sussex County Police said that a teenager had died late on Monday when he crashed into a lamppost in the street where he was snowtubing. Snowmageddon on social media. Stuck at home, many turned to social media to give voice to their frustration, adopting such storm-related hashtags as #BlizzardOff2015, #Snowmageddon2015, and #Snowpocalypse. Across NE, millions are panicked they may lose internet and have to talk to their families. Trying hard to remember names. #Snowmageddon2015, tweeted Stuart Stevens. The United Nations headquarters gave itself a day off on Tuesday. East Coast schools, including New York City, the nation's largest public school system, serving 1 million students, shut down. Universities, including Harvard and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, canceled classes. Stock exchanges, including Intercontinental Exchange Inc.'s New York Stock Exchange Unit, NASDAQ OMX Group, and the ATS Global Markets, said they expected to stay open for normal operating hours on Tuesday. The last time bad weather closed the stock markets was in October 2012, when Sandy hit the East Coast with flooding, punishing winds, and widespread power outages. The brutal weather paralyzed the New York City metropolitan area with a shutdown of all subway, bus, and commuter rail services on Metro North Railroad and Long Island Railroad. It was the first time the city subway had been halted due to snow. New Jersey Transit and the Massachusetts State Transportation Authority also suspended bus, rail, and other services would also be suspended on Tuesday. Coastal flood warnings were issued from Delaware to Maine, and National Weather Service officials in Boston reported early on Tuesday that waves just a few miles outside of Boston Harbor approached 20 feet, 6 meters. Amtrak suspended rail services between New York and Boston and into New York State, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Maine. The biggest snowfall on record in New York City was during the storm of February 11, 12, 2006, when 26.9 inches, 68 centimeters, fell, according to the city's Office of Emergency Management. Additional reporting by Curtis Skinner, editing by Louise Ireland.